Okay, let's go to Sanjay, who's been very, very patient. How are you?
All right, Neresh, yeah.
You tell me. Tommy Robinson says, listen, do not take away my democratic right to protest.
Yeah.
And people like Abdullah and Rab are simply saying, listen, there's going to be mayhem there's going to be chaos if they go through the streets of Tower Hamlets. What do you think?
Well, the EDL should be able to protest wherever they want in the UK. Why are Muslims even trying to attack what they are doing? I mean, if they are really good Muslims, why are they not just standing back and letting them do it in peace, the way everyone don't bother everyone else in this country? You know, all other religions don't bother anyone else. Have you just noticed it comes down to Islam? Yes, so I'm saying that
I've heard about radical Hindus in India who cause absolute chaos.
I'll give you the example of that one. This is England we're talking about. We're not talking about India right now. And besides, Muslims have caused so much problems in India. It's unbelievable. But
hold on, I don't know hold on. Let's just move away. I will sort of ask you a few more details about that. You're making very sort of wide statements there. What I want you to do is deal with small points one by one, and then I can argue with you as well. So please tell me. Go ahead, Sanjay. Should they be banned or not?
No, they should not, because this is England, it's a Christian country, and the thing is, this country allows all other faiths to get along peacefully without bothering anyone else. I mean, I don't know why it affects the Muslims so much, because their plan is to take over the UK. Everyone knows that. EDL are doing good because I guarantee you something.
A population of a few million are trying to take over the UK. Who told you that?
Yeah, I mean, they're doing it slowly, but I guarantee you one thing. You know, 20 years
God,
from
you
now,
must have read an article about that. Can you share that article with me?
What's that about?
The Muslims are trying to take over the UK. I've never come across that one.
Well, I'll just tell you some basic common sense.
Please.
I mean, they're having so many kids in the UK.
I didn't know that. Is there a population census which says they're having more kids than Hindus and Sikhs?
Is it all right if I finish? I mean, you asked me.
But please, Sanjay, you know what? You know, I respect you. You're an articulate individual. But what I want is that general sort of assertions they're having more kids than us.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you another thing. Like, if a Muslim guy goes with a non-Islamic girl and he tries to convert her, see, there's always if you use your basic common sense, Islam is actually expanding in the UK. Anyone with a brain cell would know this. This is what Tommy Robinson is trying to put across. What he's trying to say, he doesn't want this country from becoming an Islamic state. I mean, 20 years from now, everyone who's hating him now, it'll be too late, because everyone in 20 years will be saying, oh, we should have listened to him, he was right.
So you are an EDL supporter, Sanjay?
I'm an EDL supporter, but one thing I don't like about the EDL, I'm going to just say this right now, there must be white people in the group, in the organisation, who are racist. What I want to know from Tommy is, how does he control that bit?
Tommy?
Yeah, mate, if anyone picks up, go on YouTube now, put in RVF EDL, you'll see groups like the Racial Volunteer Force, like the real far right, They hate me. Right? I have people always bring it back to my criminal record. One of my convictions was for calling these people out in my speech, calling out their names, telling them to show themselves because they're not welcome in our crowd. Then when I got off the stage, I admit it come to violence. And one of my convictions was for knocking one of them out. So when people say, I have confronted them in every way you can confront them.
These are racist, Tommy, yeah? These are racist.
Yeah. These are racist. From burning swastikas, I've set because in the early days, they tried to attach themselves and align themselves to our organisation. Now, we had murders. In the first 2 years, we had murders. Like, basically, at demonstrations, we were fighting amongst them. So when people are saying there's trouble in the EDL crowd, that's us kicking them out.
Yeah.
That's us. And we're now 4 years on. They know. You just have to go on any of their websites, any of their things. Just watch that video I said, RVF EDL.
Tommy, you know what? This doesn't sound really bizarre, and Sanjay as well, but normal folk out there, just really normal individuals who think, hold on, being a racist, what's the difference between being a racist and hating Islam?
Is it all right if I say something about that, please?
Please.
Right? Yeah, Hear what it is. When people call Tommy Robinson a racist, I just start scratching my head and say, what is wrong with people? Racism is hating colour of skin. I mean, saying you're anti-Islam isn't racism, it's common sense.
But you hate people who belong to it, Sanjay. Yeah. Let me put this to you. Do you hate people of a certain faith?
No, and I don't hate all Muslims. And this is what I'm trying to say. It's difficult because the religion teaches something abnormal.
Oh, so you don't hate individuals, but you hate the religion because you feel it's doing wrong.
Exactly. I mean, if I can speak to a Muslim and don't mention religion with them, and I'll get along like a house on fire. But the instant religion gets taught, because they're just taught one thing: hate other religions. There's the only one, and that's it. And
I never knew that, Sanjay. I never knew that one. So where did you learn that fact
Pick
from?
up the Quran then, bruv. Just
Okay.
pick up the Quran and read it.
Those things that I hope and pray that my children do not have to go through that. My son once experienced it when he was a kid, when he was playing football, when somebody abused a child of mixed heritage. He was white and Sikh. But, you know, I hope and pray that, you know, our children, we as a family, my family, have lived here for 50 years. We're as British as they come. We're as English as they come. But the thing is, Tommy, you can't see the difference between anybody. As far as some people will say with the EDL that, hold on, he's Asian, is he Muslim, Sikh or Hindu? How do you differentiate? How do you...
That's ridiculous. And if you're going back even to what Sanjay was saying when you said, is there statistics and demographics? What he's saying is actual factual. Muslim male in this country has 5.6 children on average. A non-Muslim has 1.3. Now, you project that along with immigration, 30 to 40 years, Muslims are the majority. Every 10 years, since the 60s, their community, every 10 years, it doubles from 180,000 to 360,000, then to 700,000, then to 1.4 million, then to 2.8 million. Next will be 6 million, and it'll be 12 million.
And what are you afraid of, ultimately? What are you afraid of, Tommy?
This would not be a problem if they were integrating and assimilating, and certain sects of Islam are no problem at all. The Ahmadiyya sect would not cause a whisper in this country, not a single whisper.
Another one from Shakil, who says Sanjay is pro-EDL. His views are extreme against Muslims. Every time he speaks about Muslims, you can hear the disrespect in his voice. It's people like him who make things worse. I would not have served him either. He represents racism and hatred and should expect to get a backlash for his actions.